Hey guys, it's Bree. Of course, it's that time of the week again. It's Friday. We're going to do a quick Friday reads, and then I have a couple of things I'm going to tell you about afterwards. We'll see how that goes. So I have been not having like the best week. It's not been terrible, but I didn't read too much. I had some kind of stuff related to an organization I work with that I had to focus on first. And unfortunately, that took up a lot of my time. I did read We Who Are About To by Joanna Russ. This is a story about a group of people who get stranded on a planet, and kind of what happens to them when they start realizing that they're never going to be in touch with Earth again. Super short. It's about 110 pages, maybe. And it was interesting to read this one. I really struggled with the female man, and I found this to be a much more coherent read. And it is kind of that in-your-face confrontational feminism that I think Joanna Russ is known for. Is featured a lot in this book. I enjoyed it. It's very dark, but that was probably the first thing I read this week. Then I read We Are All Completely Beside Ourselves. This is by Karen Joy Fowler. It's more in the vein of literary fiction. It's not really fantasy or SFF at all, so it's not typical genre for me. But it was really very interesting. It's about a young woman who is going away to college, and she kind of starts explaining why she is the way she is. Things about her family and when she was growing up, the dysfunction that was kind of going on and how that played out. And you learn more and more throughout the story about things she's kind of made herself not think about anymore. It's really interesting, really well written. There's a lot of kind of social science theory in it, which I enjoyed and was not expecting. But it's a very good story. If you are going to read it, I would suggest maybe not reading the back. The back is good. It's not spoiling something that's like a huge secret for long, but it is one of those things that I hadn't read the back, and when I found out what they're talking about and realized it was on the back the whole time, I was like, I'm glad I didn't read that. I don't know, just a thought. This has been blurbed, actually. I think this is one of the more interesting things. It's been blurbed by Mary Doria Russell, Ruth Azeki, and Ursula Le Guin. Again, not genre, but it's gone over really well with, I think, people who are typically readers of SFF. It was, in fact, in my science fiction and fantasy bookstore, which, like I said, a little strange, but definitely an enjoyable one. I finished this one today. I started The Birth of the Pill. This is by Jonathan Egg. It's about Margaret Sanger and the research she funded and the researchers who worked to develop the pill as we know it today. It's really interesting so far. I'm about 60 pages in, and I'm looking forward to reading this. I don't know if this is going to be my airplane book or not. I'm going with my mom, and I feel like that's a little weird, just because of the nature of our relationship. But I am looking forward to finishing this one. I'm really, really interested. And Jonathan Egg's writing style, I think, really lends itself well to being that kind of informative but not overly dry storytelling that I find really appealing in nonfiction. So someone pointed out to me that I really don't have any like Christmassy stories on my TBR from last week. And they're right. And so I picked up Hogfather by Terry Pratchett. I don't know why this wasn't on my TBR to begin with, because I have watched Hogfather every year for Christmas for the last like 4 or 5. Ever since I first watched it, I was like, this is my new Christmas movie. You know, right up there after all of the Mickey Rooney claymation Santa movies. So it'll be interesting. I think this time I'm going to hold off watching Hogfather and read the book first. If anybody wants to read along with me, we can watch the movie together. And I've kind of tickled around, that's weird to say, I've kind of been playing around with reading The Hunt for Vulcan. This is kind of about Einstein's theory of relativity and his search for the planet Vulcan, which of course was never fruitful. And I'm not too far into it. I'm maybe 20 pages in. I might set this down and finish The Birth of the Pill and Hogfather before reading it. In case you didn't notice, from my December TBR, there's only like one book so far. So I really should probably pick something up from there. I really am excited to read those books, especially the Delaney one. But we'll see. I have like 2 4-day weekends in a row. And so I'm really excited for that, and I know myself, and I know I'm going to be reading a ton of stuff then. But as far as things that I wanted to talk about, I have a couple of things that I'm planning to do, and I just kind of wanted to give you the heads up. So I'm working on a 12 Days of Christmas project for you. I have to actually start compiling that tonight, but I'm really excited. It's probably going to wind up being something that's a little cliche, but I'm enjoying it and looking forward to it. The pipes in my apartment are really loud, so I'm sorry. And then I am thinking about doing some travel vlogs, in particular ones that would show my family and I going on our trip and kind of what we're doing there and stuff like that, talking to my grandmother, who's extremely well read. I think would be a lot of fun too. So we'll see. I'm working out the details of those, kind of figuring out what I want to do for that, but do expect some kind of actual vlogs, not so much booktube vlogs. So let me know what you're reading this week. I hope you're having a fantastic start to your December, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.